I'm Brooke.
I'm Patricia.
I'm Sam.
I am Abby.
Haley.
Mia.
Okay.
Have you ever dreamed of having a superpower? Like flying or being able to travel through space or something like that? Well, imagine that you have a superpower where you can travel to different realities. Yeah. Let's say you can travel to a reality where it's back in 1980 or you're in the future or you're a celebrity. Now, suddenly you get pulled into these different realities that you could just easily travel to. You lose control of this superpower, and it becomes a curse rather than a power. This is what maladaptive daydreaming is like. That curse is something that I personally struggle with on a daily basis. Hi, I'm here to spread awareness around maladaptive daydreaming and its importance on effects of daily life, and hopefully through awareness and continuous research, maladaptive daydreaming can be put into the DSM and defined as a disorder. In early 2002, Dr. Eli Summers produced the first article about maladaptive daydreaming disorder. In his work, he defines it as maladaptive daydreaming is extensive fantasy activity that replaces human interaction or interferes with academic, interpersonal, or vocational functioning. To help you understand more what it is, I will give you two examples of it in someone's daily life. First, I will tell my story. Second, I will tell the story of a 14-year-old girl. So how I live daily with maladaptive daydreaming disorder is I wake up and sometimes I can't control what causes these daydreams. Sometimes I'll just wake up and I'll hear a certain word, or I'll hear a song, and I start to daydream. I can't choose what I daydream about, but I can choose what happens in that daydream. And those daydreams feel real, and sometimes I can visualize where I am. To the outside world, someone might see me speaking or saying certain words, like a dialogue of a script of a movie, or they might see me walking in circles, or they might see me making facial expressions. Through years of dealing with this and not understanding what necessarily I have been able to keep it all inside, and I will just sit there and think it. It is very different from everyone, such as a 14-year-old girl. Her first name is Lee. The order is I wake up and sometimes I can't control what causes these daydreams. Sometimes I'll just wake up and I'll hear a certain word, or I'll hear a song, and I start to daydream. I can't choose what I daydream about, but I can choose what happens in that daydream. And those daydreams feel real, and sometimes I can visualize where I am. To the outside world, someone might see me speaking or saying certain words, like a dialogue of a script of a movie, or they might see me walking in circles, or they might see me making facial expressions. Through years of dealing with this and not understanding what necessarily I have been able to keep it all inside, and I will just sit there and think it. It is very different from everyone, such as a 14-year-old girl. Her first name is Lee. The second name is anonymous, since she doesn't want her story necessarily out there. But she is a lot different, as where she expressed more of the symptoms of talking, of walking around, of saying her dialogues. And she, because of that, was diagnosed with other disorders, such as schizophrenia or depressive disorders, which were just not quite right for her. And because of that, she was taking medications that didn't work quite for her, and that medication was not good for her. And because of that, she had visited several mental hospitals in the past to help her figure out what was going on and help her through that, but it wasn't working until one day she was diagnosed informally by some psychiatrist that had heard of maladaptive daydreaming disorder. And now that she is getting help and therapy for that disorder, she is living a healthier life. So through awareness, there can be more research done, and that means if it gets put in a DSM, that means there is enough research that it can be defined as a disorder. And defining it as a disorder means that there will be more treatments available for those with DSM. And according to Dr. Dudek, there are around more than 3,000 people suffering with maladaptive daydream disorder. There is online forum called the Wild Mind Network that I am a part of, where because we can't necessarily get certain treatments because it isn't diagnosed in the DSM, that's what we have to use as treatment, is talking to other people, which is helped to a certain extent, but we can figure out more medications that might work for people, because as of right now they're only giving those with MDD antidepressants, which don't work for everybody, and some are getting therapy for it, but there are certain forms of therapy that don't work. Mandy Witkin, a professor at Brown University, found, working with that previous 14-year-old girl, that there are several phases of treatment that were helpful. Those phases were about accepting her fantasy in her head, and that they aren't real, and learning how to control what goes on inside her head. So they didn't just say these daydreams aren't real, and they didn't suppress these daydreams. They just got her to have control of those daydreams, or her superpower, as you may call it. And there will be, if it is diagnosed in the DSM, there will be a decrease of misdiagnosis, such as the Dr. Dudek did some research and found that those that were diagnosed with MDD were also diagnosed with anxiety and depressive disorders. 71% of them met criteria for anxiety, and the other 67% was for depressive disorder. But what raising awareness can do is that it can increase the diagnosis and increase the treatment, and then it can help people understand that there is another disorder out there, and to not think of these people as crazy, so they break the stigma. I hope that from today I have you've learned what maladaptive daydream disorder is and how it affects people, and that you just increase awareness.